Good morning from Newquay. So I got up this morning. I'm actually getting a little bit of a later start because I had a bunch of errands to do. Had to go grocery shopping since I'm going to be in town for the rest of the week. It's Monday and I don't leave until Saturday. So I wanted to, get things for dinners and lunches and stuff. So I don't have to eat out all the time because the next place I'm staying, I'm gonna have to eat out quite a bit more. So, a little balance and all that stuff, health, whatever. But I also have to go to Boots, which is like a drugstore sort of situation, and get sunscreen. And I have to, I wanna go to this outdoor store here and see if I can find different socks. Last year when I was getting blisters from my shoes and the insoles and everything, I switched out the socks and that helped a lot. And I don't know why I decided not to bring those socks this year. I guess I'd been hiking back home and I haven't had the same issues with the blisters, so I figured it'd be fine, but apparently not so much. So gonna try to swing by that. It's like Mountain Warehouse or something, I don't know, something like that. But they're like a low-cost outdoor shop sort of situation. So I'm gonna see what I can find there to hopefully help. Hello from Padstow. So I did my little errands, got on the bus. It's a little before 12, so I'll probably make it to Harlan. The only problem is the bus stop in Harlan, the road is under construction, so they're not dropping off there, so I'd have to walk to the next town over, which would probably add another couple miles, but it'll probably be pretty flat, even if it's on the sketchy road. So we'll have to see what we see, but that's the current plan. Walk to Harlan. I think it's only supposed to be about 7, maybe 800 feet of elevation, and I think it's supposed to be 7 miles. So should be able to do that in 6 hours, no problem. Let's go take a look for a bit now. So here's a little map. A couple days ago, that's where I was in Rock, and I was looking over here, and now here I am. So, on my second vlog of this trip, that was Friday, I was over on that side in Rock, and you can kind of see the ferry slip right there. And I walked all the way to the end, past where you can see. Now I'm on the other side in Padstow. I will say, Padstow is a little bit more people-y than I thought it would be. Super crowded. It is also midday, and it's a nice day out. A little breezy. I kind of wish I had gotten here earlier because the 2 stops that I had to wait until 9 a.m. to go to exist here. I didn't even think about that, but I also thought that this was a much smaller town than it is, so that's probably why. So I'm here now. Like I said, it's just before noon, so I think I'm gonna get myself ready to go and start heading out. So when I thought about walking this path, this is what I envisioned. Beautiful, bright blue water, wide, clear pathway, a light breeze, some sun, some blue sky. Fingers crossed, this is what today brings me. Got a wheat field. And I think some of the wheat might have escaped. Who knows? Maybe that's wild wheat or something like it. Weather this direction. Weather this direction. I guess it's really, if you don't like the weather, just wait. Giving up the trail for a bit of sand walking. It was getting kind of foliagey-y, overgrown, and the sand's compacted and the tide's out, so why not give this a go? I think they're supposed to, like, the trails are meeting up, so it won't be that bad or anything, but fingers crossed this is a good decision. That's the bay. Look at all those shades of blue. That's the coast that I walked down a couple days ago. That's where I had lunch out there. I think I might be at a higher point on this little loop. It's a lot flatter, thank God. Well, this is cool. Looks like some sort of round tower. Although it could very well be something left over from like mining, or there could be an old lighthouse. I'm out at the very tip. I gotta say, the hike out here is so much better than the hike out to the other side. And this is what I have to look forward to. So if I finish today, or I probably should, whoops, I'm gonna end right where that sand is, I think. That's Harlan. And if I push on, I'm gonna go out to that peninsula and around, over to right around there, which is Constantine Bay. Constantine Bay is about as far as from Harlan as Harlan is from Padstow, which is where I came back over that hill. It's only been like an hour and 15 minutes and I'm already like 2.5 miles in. I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but this is feeling so much more doable and fun. Lunch spot of the day ain't too bad. Next to the round tower. There are a few bugs, but what are you gonna do? Nature and all. And that's the view. Okay, here's hoping for rolling hills, very little up downs, and pretty open coastline. Well, I'm walking through this field and here's some cows. Hopefully they don't love the color pink because I'm wearing very bright pink, but hello cows. Why do they always stare at you? Oh, that one has horns. Lovely. Okay, avert eyesight. This is my least favorite part of these paths. Sheep are fine. The sheep are harmless. The cows freak me out. Oh Lord. Especially when these are boy cows. At least there's not a mommy and a baby. Oh look, other people. Glorious. Well, I've determined why this section of the path is so well manicured. Thanks, folks. And your little vehicle that you can drive out here. Glorious. Here for it. Found this cool little, well, it kind of almost looks like a sinkhole, but it's clearly some sort of sea cave that goes out to the water. I bet that fills up at some point in time. That's kind of cool. And here is the next little town. I forget, it's like Tervone or something like that. It starts with a T, I don't know. Apparently that next beach over is Harlan, which I think is where I'm stopping for the day. It's 2:30 and I have to get the bus to Constantine Bay, which is on the other side of Harlan. Like if I just skip that little peninsula guy out there. But if I do the peninsula guy, it's like another 5 miles or something. So yeah. And the last bus is at 6 and it's 2:30. So probably gonna skip it, but we'll see. We'll see how we go. I'm feeling really good. This like low elevation has been amazing. Also, I can't beat the views. Okay, well, I've officially made it 5 miles in 2.5 hours, including breaks and lunch, which is great. And it says here that I have 1.25 miles left to get to Harlan Bay, which is, I think, where I'm ending. So let's continue on. Check this out. This is what you call a natural pool. You see, like, obviously the water comes in. You can only access it when the tide's not too high, but the water gets a little warmer a little quicker and it's more controlled because you don't have to worry about like currents and stuff. I've seen them in other places in England too, especially down here in Cornwall, but they're really cool. I was kind of hoping it would be warmer and less windy when I got here. Maybe I would go in, but I think this is gonna be it for me. It's too cold, like this is the sky and it's very breezy. which is lovely for my walking, but not for swimming. Here's Harlan Bay. So I was gonna cut through the fields and like road walk back to Constantine, apparently that's how you say it, Bay to get the bus, because the stop at Harlan is closed because of Ridwick. And I met a British woman and she was basically advising me not to do that and to go walk around, which is about, I think she said about 3 miles, and beautiful. And she's like, oh, you'll definitely be able to get there in 3 hours, you'll be fine. And it's a little dangerous to do the road walk. So I'm taking her advice, fingers crossed. Also, I got ice cream. It's like, it's really good. But I'm pretty sure he gave me the wrong flavor because this is not mint chocolate. This is like honeycomb or something. So for what it is, 8 out of 10. For what I ordered, clearly 0 out of 10. There's the lifeguard station. A lady I ran into was saying that that's kind of cool, that there's a lighthouse on the other side. You know, I will say, just when I get to the point where I'm like, wait, where am I going? I see one of these guys. They're quite perfectly placed. There's only been a couple of instances where that hasn't existed and I've needed to solely rely on my map, but good job, people. You can see how I'm standing on this peninsula. There's one side of it, that's where I'm going. And that's the other side where I just came from. That's Harlan in the distance. And then I'm going to where that cluster of houses is, not the first one, the bigger cluster. That's Constantine Bay. Okay, I made it to the high point on the second part of the hike. There's a lighthouse in the distance. See, and then this direction, you can kind of see right there, that little bit, if you can see it sticking out, that's where I had lunch, and that little bay right next to it, in there is Padstow where I started, and then the other side, all along the coast until it disappears into the mist. I've walked that. That's super cool. Well, that's all for now. Made it to the lighthouse. It's pretty spectacular looking out here. It's another one of these sinkhole looking things where the water has come through underneath. So this right here is essentially a bridge from the ocean. That's a little sketchy. I'm sure it's fine. Sea is carving away at another over there. It's pretty, at some point that is not going to be attached anymore. It's going to be like those guys out there. Well, we're a third of a mile away and we're making good time. It's 4:45, so we should be fine with the bus, assuming nothing's canceled. Onward. So I've pretty much made it to where I have to cut in and walk up a little path to the bus stop. It's like right at the other end of the beach over there. So I figured I'm gonna take off my shoes. I'm gonna put my feet in the water as a reward. Also I have blisters, and so hopefully that'll help. Also, whatever this bite is, I'm hoping the salt water will help. So multiple layers of reasoning. Amazing. So unfortunately, my beach time has been thwarted by jellyfish. There's a bunch of them in there. They're not very big. Like, here's my shoe next to it for size comparison, but you know, I don't need a jellyfish sting to add to my experience here. Yeah, there's quite a few of them. Cool. Well, I made it to the bus stop at Constantine Bay. Apparently, I missed the last one by like 15 minutes, so I have like 45 minutes to wait, which I'd rather get here early than too late, but now I gotta hang out for 45 minutes.